Well, the law passed unanimously there. Obviously, strong support for it. Why?
Well, first of all, the parliament, the National People's Congress here in Beijing, is a rubber stamp parliament. It basically approves every proposal that is submitted to it. Secondly, there's a lot of support for it within the central government here in Beijing because Hong Kong, as a bastion of free speech and as the place where there was a protest movement, a very much alive protest movement for the past few years, was a thorn in its side. So this law will go a long way to curtail this protest movement and to sort of penalize any virulent criticism of the central Chinese government. And it's already having effect with some Hong Kong pro-democracy figures like Joshua Wong, like Nathan Law, saying they've put an end to their political careers. Also, something worth seeing to see how urgent this was for the central government was the expedited process of how this law was passed. 40 days ago, it was announced at the annual session of the NPC. And then we had two sessions of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress that were very close together, the most sort of in quick succession, a way that we've never seen before, just a way to get this law passed before the summer, before another potential summer of protest, and before the legislative elections in Hong Kong in September.
So, Sean, what then could be the implications, though, for China? I mean, it's been widely criticised internationally for this law, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And there's already been some sanctions announced by the Trump administration, who passed the Hong Kong Democracy and Human Rights Act in 2019. They've already announced some visa restrictions on Chinese or Hong Kong officials who've been judged to violate Hong Kong's autonomy and human rights. We don't know who these officials are exactly. And China's actually responded in kind to this particular sanction. And the Trump administration announcing on Monday that they were restricting exports of high tech to Hong Kong because its autonomy has been infringed upon by the central authorities. But we're also potentially seeing more sanctions from the U.S. with freezing American assets of these individuals, but also from the EU that's put out really firm statements, especially compared to other statements in the past, and also some measures from the UK that could grant residency to a large chunk of Hong Kong's population who is eligible to a British national overseas passport. Taiwan as well is offering to offer asylum to any political refugees from Hong Kong.
Charles, thanks very much. Charles Pellegrin joining us there from Beijing.